I hope you're well. Apparently I'm live, so welcome if you are there. Do say hey, hello. This is your monthly love horoscope for May 2018. And for those of you who know, I don't like to mess around. I do like to just jump straight in there and just do my reading for the month. But if you'd like to know more about me and my private services, all the links are just down below. I don't even know where to look in the camera because my it's the first time I've done this live, so I've got it at one angle, but I think I'm supposed to be talking over there, but it's quite hard to do. So this is Sagittarius, and actually this reading is called The Fates, basically, based on what information that I've channeled already when it comes to what my guides want you to know when it comes to your love life, basically. So the reason why they call it The Fates is this. They're basically saying here that if you know the story of the Fates, which I think is Greek mythology, it basically talks about how one's life is already fated. Hi Lee, hope that you're well. That our life is basically fated to some degree. Now, we have free will. I don't necessarily believe in that, particularly given the way that my guides do readings or teach me. But what they're trying to tell me in regards to you and your story when it comes to your love life, that there is something fated that starts from this month but builds within the year. So it is a story that is fated love, basically, something that you can't bypass, something that has to be, but there's also more to the story about it as well. So with this fate story, you have like this, a line where you have certain key points in your life that I would put it that you've contractually agreed to encounter. There is something about your love life that is instigated in this month that is very fatal, basically. Not in a bad way, but it's fate-based. Now, the other part of the story that my guides want to start your reading with is also on another fable. They're full of fables today for Sagittariuses. They're giving me the fable of Rumpelstiltskin. Now, Rumpelstiltskin is a nursery story, and from what I remember about it, it's a story where there is this gentleman or troll who spins wool into gold, and because he can do this, the king says to him, make me this gold and make me rich so that I've got money. And he says, yes, I can do that for you, but there is a price to pay. I will spin you all the gold you want, but I want something in return. And so the king says, what would you like? And he says, I want your firstborn child. So there's a little bit of dark undertones. And what my guides are trying to say with your love life is a couple of things. Firstly, don't make deals with somebody when it comes to your love life where actually the consequences are something that you're not willing to be prepared for. There's also that part of this fated contractual element between you and somebody else that starts within this month has some undertones where you need to be reading the contract. What is it that I'm agreeing to? There's an element of basically getting with somebody, whether you're single or even getting back with somebody. My guides are saying here, we're actually there are bonuses to it, but there are also some negatives to it. There's a payoff. So an example would be you might get with somebody that you've been wanting to get with, but the payoff is you get it, but they break somebody else's heart because of it, if that makes sense. So that could be one of the payoffs. The other payoff is that you could be single, you meet somebody and they promise you the world and you have a good relationship, but the trade-off is, gosh, I'm trying to think, they want to move to another country and you have to move with them, which means you have to end your schooling or something. There's basically, it sounds a bit harsh, but there is a fatal element with somebody that has some good elements, but there is definitely consequences to the relationship. Basically, there is a dark side to it. There is something you have to pay back. There's a toll that has to be paid, but it is unavoidable a little bit in the circumstances, is how it's coming across. So that's the message, the very strong message that you want to give Sagittarius, is that watch who comes in. Watch who this significant person is, because it's going to linger in this year, the rest of the year now, in profound positive ways, but there is a price to pay for it too. And that will obviously be very different for different people, depending on what it is, if that makes sense. So, we're going to look at week by week. So as we start, we're in week 1 today, as I'm doing this live on the 1st of May. And they're saying here for some of you, as you start your week, when it comes to your romance, some of you may not in particular know where it's going, hence probably why you're here. But what they're saying here, for some of you, is around somebody in particular, basically. Hi Lee, hope that you're well again. Makes perfect sense, does it? Yeah, good. But they're saying here, there's something that there's somebody for lots of people that you don't know what's going on in their mind, because they are internalizing it. They're not expressing it. They're not saying what they need to say. And so you feel, it's not like you're trying to even figure them out. You are completely bamboozled. You're like, I have no idea what they want. They're not saying, or they're talking in riddles, or they're standing back. For those of you that are single, basically, it's been shown as meeting somebody who again has the same vibration. They're a little bit awkward, basically, in terms of how they present themselves. They're not saying whether they are looking for somebody, whether they want to go forward. You're just plain in the dark, basically, in the first week when it comes to romances. Or if you're in a long-term relationship, the other person may have quite a lot on their mind and is so busy and preoccupied with the stuff that's on their mind that you just don't know if everything's okay. It's a sense of awkwardness more than it is difficulty, basically. I'm also getting here the very thing that I just talked about, in terms of somebody new coming in your life, will be in the first 2 weeks. Sorry, not new, but this significant person, in terms of either they're new or they're coming back, or it is your current relationship. It's in this month, in the first 2 weeks, that they will make their presence known also too, in terms of the beginnings of this fated, balancing act between getting something good but having to have a payoff about it also too. It's in the first couple of weeks. So for the first week though, it feels for most of you, it's probably more likely the second week, because you're in the dark about what will be and what will happen, basically. The second week in particular, so like I said, first and second week, the second week in particular, there is a strong feeling of you being love bombed, basically, by, I get for some of you, some people are definitely returning because they are riding up in the way my guides are presenting it, like a knight in white shining armour. They want to really kind of show off. They really want to make amends. For some of them, there is a bit of cockiness in the way that they present themselves to you. But even though they may present themselves as they've gone from darkness to then suddenly showing up, on this horse, not literally, could be a car, and almost like, I'm back, ta-da! Will you take me back? Will you love me? I will offer you this, and this, and they want to celebrate. They want to make you feel good, and even though it's a little bit over the top, one would say maybe borderline arrogance. And again, this could be your existing partner has gone from being quiet to suddenly, ta-da! I'm back. Let's do lots of things. It is genuine, is what's coming across. Now, for those of you who, let's say somebody has come back, it's those in particular where the payoff seems to be stronger. If it's a new person also, you need to watch that you're getting this love bombing, you're getting this kind of over the top, gesture of romance from this person. But there is this, like I said, probably not this being shown this month, but as we go through the months, there will be this thing that is a compromise about you getting this happiness a little bit. But the second week is a week for reunions, going forward. I get weddings, engagements. I get it's an arrogant, over the top energy in terms of how this person comes forward. But when you use the word love bomb, it is bombing you with this admiration, basically. And I don't care if they're male or female, they do it either way. This could also be that you're doing this too, but it's mainly been shown as it coming towards you. Interestingly, because they are so over the top, and I think for those who are returning, or perhaps you've had that kind of trade-off straight away where actually they've had to leave somebody in order to be with you, the third week you are trying to be grounded about the situation. You're the one that is probably a little bit more coy, a little bit more quiet about the situation, because you are very, 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 very happy. But I think there's some of you already know that there will be a price to pay. There's something to come back, or you're not trusting the situation. You're not trusting their intentions. It is genuine, but you're not trusting it because it just feels over the top. And I think here that you want to go forward, making sure that there is a real difference. Even if you're in an established relationship, you just want things to be lighter and easier. You want the Sagittarius element of you in terms of the freedom aspect, in terms of all of those kind of aspirations. You just want things to be nicer, but it's just feeling a bit too good to be true. So you're the one that will be internalizing that thought processes, but also wanting to try to be as objectional as possible so that you can convey to them your concerns, your happiness, your direction, what you foresee as any challenges, so that it is clear from the outset, basically. So third week is about dialogue, clarity, but coming mainly from you, being instigated by you, only because you are worried that things are too good to be true, that you're checking it out, basically. So, when it comes to the last week, it's interesting, because my guides are saying here in the last week, so some of you, in terms of this fatal aspect, will run through the month, but for some of you it definitely kickstarts at the end of the month, as we go into the 4th/5th week, because we've got a bit of a longer month this month, where you will be asked specifically by the person that you are romantically involved with to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable. So they ask you a favour, they ask something from you, they ask you perhaps to keep a secret, they ask you for something. Think about that, and it's probably why in the very intuitive way you were probably thinking and wanting to have conversations about, is this real or is this not real? Because it just feels to me that they want to be sure, they want something from you, basically. Now, whatever it is they ask from you, this could be, it could be simple as, I'm not allowed to drive anymore. Would you mind filling out this form that says that I can co-drive your car, but you just pretend I'm in it with you, something like that. It could be it's something they're asking from you that makes you feel not necessarily comfortable about it. It is whatever they ask you about will inform the price that is to be paid. All right, and it's also a situation where I feel that majority of you will find it hard to say no to it either. So just be assured, this could be as simple as, don't tell anybody that we are dating each other, or, let's keep this private and quiet between us, and you're thinking a bit awkward about it, is because there will be a price to pay about what that is. So you're being foretold in this month's reading. It's like a double-edged sword a little bit. There is good stuff, but there's also a trade-off, and your clue to the trade-off and what that is will be mentioned in the 4th week when they ask something from you that makes you feel uncomfortable and awkward. It's a very interesting read, Sagittarius is. I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm wondering how this is going to play out for me. But whatever it is, guys, do let me know. Do let me know, because it informs the rest of the month. But the most important and strongest, the most positive message in this reading is that you will be with somebody, united with somebody, or your relationship's stronger, or you start a new relationship with somebody that is fated, that is soulmatey, that has a lesson to be learned, has marvellous bonuses, but does come, unfortunately, with some kind of payoff or price. So that was me, everybody. I do hope that that's been helpful. I'll be cracking on. I'm going to come off, and I'll be back on in a moment with your Leo readings. So do watch out for that also too. So I've been Bella. Again, if you'd like to know more about me and my private services, all the links are just down below, and I will see you all next month. Take care. Bye bye.